Why are memory cards important? Well, you'll be interested to know when you've got a camera that starts shooting 4K. 4K is not a new thing. People have been shooting 4K for a while, but if you're jumping up to 4K and your memory card is not quite coping, you need to get yourself something a bit faster. What do we mean by being faster? This is an Extreme Pro card. Let me compare it to what I used to have. So you'll know I keep my cards all stored in my little card reader. That's what I was... What was that? What was that? Why? So with the cards, because I use SanDisk, and you'll know I've been shooting mostly 1080p. I have not had a need to shoot 4K, but this one is an Extreme card and it's only 45 megabits a second, whereas a new card, being the Extreme Pro, is basically bigger. Firstly, 64 gigabytes, and I'm gonna get better speeds. What does that mean in real life? Let me show you a transfer of a large file onto this card and we'll see how quick it performs. To show you this, I will be using a Alexa USB 3 hub, which means it will be able to keep up with the speeds I want it to, and I will be plugging it into a USB 3 high-speed port on my computer. If you don't have one, you'll probably get a lower speed, so be mindful of that. Okay, so what I've done right now is I've plugged in the card via the high-speed transfer card reader. We're going to put a 1 gigabyte file onto this card to see how fast it gets on there, and we can see the write speed. That's what we're interested in. So let's go and copy and paste that over. So let's go paste. And here we go. You can't see that, but there. Transferring 78, 80 megabytes a second, 77 megabytes a second, 78. Okay, so that like gigabyte got through quite quickly, but we were getting 78. Let's have a look at the box. Because on the box it tells you the read and the write speed. Let me find the box. So you'll see the Extreme Pro, it's rated at speed up to 170 megabytes a second. We were getting something like 78. Why is that? Well, flip it over and you'll see this little white box here. And this little white box tells you that it can read up to 170 megabytes a second. But when it comes to writing, which is what we were doing, because we were writing a file to the card, it's up to 90 megabytes a second. We were getting close to 80, so I'm like, okay, that's all right. It's like 80, maybe optimum conditions, it might go up to 90. But you'll notice the old card, this one here, you would be getting more speeds, like 45 megabytes a second. Trying to look for that little white box now so I can tell you the writes. Up to 45 megabytes a second. It's gonna be probably somewhere small, isn't it? There's only 2 speed measurements on there. Where's the card? We'll just do a test. We'll just put a file on it. Let me put a file on that one. So I'm going back to my old card. Let's put that in and see what speeds that does. So remember, we were writing at 78 megabytes on the other card. Here we go, it's popped up. So let me bring it back over here. Let's go and show you that. Okay, so we're gonna go right click and paste a 1 gigabyte file. Actually, you can see there 40 megabytes a second. So the old card is 40, the new card is literally double the speed, so it's writing double the data, quicker transfer speed. You can see this one, you can feel it's writing, whereas the other one is like, oh, actually it's quite snappy. So the upgrade of the card is important to write data, larger data, quicker on your card. So having an upgrade of a card is something you should consider, especially if it's like a big jump like that. First, you're getting more space, 64 gigabytes, but you're also getting the higher speed rates, as long as your camera supports it and the devices that you're using support it. Because remember, I'm using the Alexa, which supports that, because not all of them will support it. USB 3, and it does the CF and the SD cards. So yeah, this is a slightly older model that I've got. You can still pick up the newer versions of these, and all my cards are SanDisk. I've got one Alexa card because I got it free with this Alexa unit. I rate the unit very well, so I do like it, and you'll see buying the correct ones is very important. I did a video explaining how to get the right ones, because a lot of online shop sellers will sell counterfeit ones as well, so you have to be very careful. Make sure you're buying it from a reputable store like SanDisk themselves or the manufacturer of the cards, whoever they are. So thank you, and I'll see you on that next.